Our love isn't absent problems, but it sure is absent drama. You deserve this kind of love. Unfiltered Heart Talks with the Dawkins.
And guys, we want to look at some data here.
Yes.
Baby, you're going to help me with the reading because
Okay.
the last time when we did that toxic relationship video, there was that huge word that I couldn't pronounce. But yeah, we want to look at some data. It's important to point out that data, especially when it comes to psychological data and sociological data, those things comes from lived experience.
Absolutely.
They didn't generate these data out of thin air. They didn't find them in an historical book. These data came from lived experience. So I just wanted to point that out. I think that was important to note that these data are from lived experience. So according to the recent US Census data, listen to this. Go, babe.
Fewer young adults today are meeting traditional adulthood milestones such as work, independence, marriage, and having kids compared to 50-year-olds.
50 years ago. To 50 years ago. Compared to 50 years ago.
I'm sorry. Compared to 50 years ago.
Compared to 50 years ago. It says in 1975, nearly half of 25 to 34-year-olds had all 4 major milestones completed.
Work,
Meaning
independence, marriage, and kids.
Yes.
Wow.
Meaning that a 24-year-old or 25-year-old young man was financially stable.
Independent,
I know, go
married,
back a
and
Bible
having
days.
children.
Don't go back a Bible days. Because those young men in the Bible, they were trained to be men.
Yeah, and I see somebody coming in the
Husbands and
comments
all of
though,
those
babe.
things.
I see somebody coming in the comments and saying, well, those men were getting married when they were 30s and 40s. We have to look at context here, guys. These men were living to 1,000, almost 1,000. So getting married at 30 would be roughly around or, age.
Mhm.
If you get what I mean.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So if somebody's living to 900, 30 is
Yeah.
practically teenager.
Yeah.
So
There is a vast difference too,
Mhm.
because they had the financial wealth.
yes,
Wealth was kept in the family.
absolutely.
Some of we not. I've never experienced wealth before.
Oh.
I've seen billionaires. I've shook their hands, but I've never experienced. I didn't have that privilege to grow up in a home with a wealthy family, and I cannot tell you that there was anybody in my generation who was wealthy. Well, yeah. In my family, I can think
One or
about
two.
one or two people who they're well off, but that's not my family. They're just uncles that I know.
Mhm.
So I don't know what that looks like. These guys in Bible,
Their
their
fathers.
fathers trained them and
Yes.
prepared them for these things.
So it wasn't a
Right?
distant kind of.
Yeah, you didn't have to work for
thought.
it. You didn't have to earn it. You just needed to be born in that family. That's it.
Yeah.
And those family had good values, good morals, good principles.
Yes.
And so they instilled those values within you. So you were prepared, you were ready, you were trained, you were taught.
And that's why the Bible talks so heavily about a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, which are his grandchildren. So generational wealth is important.
It's very, very important.
And
it's very important.
It's a shame to not leave a legacy behind.
Trust me, for your children.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, at 25 to 34 years old, they had all 4 major milestones. By 2023, less than a quarter
had met them all.
Because
most people just have a job now.
Most people have a job.
Most people have a job and children. Or they just have children and no job.
And struggling to get by, living from paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Says young adults are prioritizing economic stability over family formation due to rising living costs and other pressures.
And this is based on
Census,
census.gov.
government census,
Yes.
right? Go to the other one, babe.
Younger adults are delaying marriage. The share of adults age 18 to 24 who are married has dropped significantly compared to 3 decades ago. Significantly dropped.
Significantly.
And at the same time, marriage rates for those 25 to 29 and 30 to 34
Have
have also
also declined.
declined, meaning couples are forming families later in life overall.
And here's why. It's not just a choice. It's a response to the economy,
Mm-hmm.
the economic crisis or economic realities, right? Young adults face higher debt levels,
Mm-hmm.
higher housing costs, and hey, I don't even want to get into that section of housing costs
Mm.
right now in 2026. Slower paths to
To financial
financial
independence.
independence, right? Census data shows that when comparing people at 21 in the 1980s to today, significantly fewer are financially
Or
independent
even
or
working full
working
time.
full time.
So if that is the case,
And just
where
to say before that,
mm,
another reason why readiness gets delayed. So I
yes.
wanted to point that out.
Yeah, and another major reason for marriages failing is finances.
Financial
A lack of financial
financial
preparedness
stability is also
is one of the big reasons a lot
why
of
a lot of
marriages
marriages fail,
fail.
because that
It is
brings a lot
important.
of stress and families
Absolutely.
when you're not in that position as a man,
And people think
you
that it's
know.
just like, oh, with children, even couples without children,
Yeah,
financial strain eventually breaks the relationship,
eventually
especially
breaks the
a young
relationship. Yeah.
relationship.
Let me tell you, I understand that there are exemptions,
Absolutely.
you know, and context matters. But I think it's irresponsible of any man, including myself, to be at an age where you know that you are struggling. And I'm not talking about men who are at a literal disadvantage. And that's why I said context matters. But if you're in the position to work, to take care of your responsibilities, to develop yourself, to grow, mature, and prepare yourself, you know, for marriage and for life and for the challenges that will come with these things, and you make a choice or do stupid things to prevent you from accomplishing that establishment, trust me, you are doing a disjustice to a woman when you take her up or when you even propose to her.
Mm,
It's not right.
it's not right.
It is not right.
It's not right.
And another thing, so young men's earnings today look very different than in previous generations. Median earnings for non college young men have seen only modest increases. And for some groups, they remain below earlier benchmark levels when adjusted for inflation.
Talk
So
about inflation.
I don't want to hear, oh, when I was your age, I was working 10
This
cents or
10
I
cents and no, you're working
and
$10,
oh, I know you're working a hundred
$10 or a
dollars
hundred
or
dollars.
like
It doesn't equate.
it doesn't equate. It doesn't equate at all. And that's what people adjust it to inflation, and let's see who is making more. You probably making 10 times more than me working 10 cents an hour.
With no
Because
response,
10
way
cents
less
could
responsibilities.
10 cents could probably buy you how much they were. I remember when I was growing up, I used to hear people talking about, oh, somebody pays $700 for, I mean,
Land.
acres of land.
Yes.
$700. And you're talking about we in our country, we are paying $4 million for not even half.
Wow.
So adjust it to inflation and see which one of us was making more money.
Mm-hmm.
$700 you were paying for land, you were 5 times, 10 times richer than, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So people make those start. It's crazy. Young workers also face a job market that favors experience, meaning they have to wait longer to climb the income ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So we can clearly see, based on data, that all of this undermines the idea that young people, especially young men, have the same economic runway of that previous generations had. It's not there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there.
And that is so true, love. And with that weight on the current generation, the financial weight,
Mm-hmm.
and how much harder it is to have all four,
All
you
four.
know, financial stability has become the primary goal and
Focus
focus for
for young
many
people.
young people,
Mm-hmm.
and marriage is put in the backseat,
Yeah.
right? Also, what we find is that only half of those said people believe that they'll ever be married. Another thing,
Mm-hmm.
even though we find that a lot of these young people are thinking that they'll never get married,
Mm-hmm.
women are a little bit more optimistic than men
Yes.
in this pool. They hope for the chance to one day find a partner. Remember that song I shared with you by Ray?
By Ray.
Where is my husband?
Mm-hmm.
So women are definitely
Looking forward to
more
that just the same.
optimistic,
Optimistic.
despite the financial struggle and the strain. They're looking forward to marriage compared to men. Men are on the lower side of that.
And with all of this, it tells you that financial stability becomes a prerequisite for marriage preparedness
Especially in today,
in today's
in today's
economic.
economy. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Our love isn't absent problems, but it sure is absent drama. You deserve this kind of love. Unfiltered Heart Talks with the Dawkins.